Sophia, what are you saying?
Yes.
To see our...
Yes.
What is this?
Maybe we could look and...
No, we're just tired.
To see our house.
Let's go to bed. It's late. After so many years now.
I just thought that...
Sophia, what are you thinking? Of him? I don't want to go. In the morning we'll have forgotten about it. Ah, there's a button missing.
There's always a button missing with you. They've opened the borders.
No.
After so many years,
I said I do not want to talk about it.
Well, you don't need buttons when you sleep.
Look, we need to be here to keep an eye on Khalid.
You spoke to him? Again?
Yes. I told him he better buckle down in his studies and that he will not, under any circumstances, be picking up the rifle and running off the hills. You are 17, I said, and that gun you carry weighs half as much as you do. He's a romantic, you know.
And he listened.
He won't listen.
Of course he'll listen. I'm his father. Tomorrow I'll take him to the library. I'll watch him study if I have to. More books will do the trick.
Others are going.
Books will pin him down.
Just to look.
He's thinking of going alone.
I said I'm not going, and I do not care what others think or do.
Saeed,
Huh?
don't try to go alone.
What? I'm not. That's ridiculous. That was your idea. Who the thought makes
I
it?
mean, who knows how long that's...
Sophia, stop it! Look, if it's a disgrace for the people of the city, for you and me it's a double disgrace, why torture ourselves now?
Well, if you were thinking of going...
No, we certainly won't sleep.
Come on, take me with you.
I said I am not going.
Yes!
No!
Yes!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
Well, perhaps, maybe we could just take a look. All right, there, we should go. Yes!
Okay. Oh, let me give you a trim.
You should put your hair up.
Let's say goodbye to Khalid.
Leave him to his studies. He's piled his books really high on the desk.
Khalid!
Just a strategy so that we cannot see him.
We're going out!
Leave him to his studies.
Oh, and if you get hungry, there's food on the stove.
If he gets hungry enough, he'll devour those books like I used to.
And don't just eat the pistachios and peanuts, okay?
I was the same. My parents would hide the nuts from me.
That's not a meal. And don't leave me a pile of shells to clean off your desk.
Eat whatever you want, young man, as long as you study.
Yeah, quiet.
Okay, enough. Let's get on with it.
Your forehead's on fire.
There is no air in this car. The asphalt is burning under the wheels.
Well, maybe if you quit talking and took a breath. You've been going non-stop since we left Ramallah about the war.
Which war?
About the Mandelbaum Gate.
Ha! Yeah, demolished by the bulldozers? Right, of course I remember. And how their army reached the Jordan River and then the Suez Canal. And then in matter of the edge of...
Yeah, Damascus in a matter of hours.
Imagine Damascus.
And the ceasefire. Don't forget to mention the ceasefire.
And the curfews. And how their soldiers plundering through the houses. And remember my cousin in Kuwait? Who was consumed with anxiety. And our neighbor who gathered up his things and fled. And those 3 Arab soldiers who fought alone in the streets near the hill of Augusta Victoria Hospital. And those men who took off their uniforms, they fought alone in the streets of Jerusalem. And remember the peasants? He was shot dead the moment they saw him near. Well, Safia, what day is it?
June 30th.
And the year?
You know it.
Say it.
1967.
1947.
Yes.
We're headed north. He crossed the plain, Ibn Ammar.
After 20 years, it doesn't feel like, but they have renamed it. This was called Ibn Ammar Plain.
Ibn
open road, none of your shortcuts. For 20 years, I always imagined that they would reopen the Mandelbaum Gate and that we could go back. But I never
That
imagined...
it will be open from the other side? Never entered my mind either. Doors should be open from one side only, and that they are the ones to open it. It all seems so.
Strange, frightening.
Absurd, comical,
There she is. There's the city.
humiliating.
Smell it? I can smell the port.
Oh, that smell.
Like something opening.
A window.
No, like a mouth. Like kisses.
Kisses, if you say so, my love.
Can you smell it? It smells like war, like... Oh, this Fiat's a piece of junk.
I know, it has got no pickup on these hills. Not like the old Ford did.
Do you think Khalid will leave while we're gone?
Don't worry about him. Right now, Khalid is sitting with his nose in his algebra.
When he talks about joining the other fighters, he's like a stranger.
A stranger? Come on, that boy got my blood, our blood coursing through his veins. A bond that may bend Safiya.
But never break. I know.
I know my son better than he knows himself.
Khalid is taller than you now.
Barely.
Does that bother you?
What? No, of course not. Let him grow as tall as a mountain. A skyscraper figure. He is still my son.
And soon he'll be a man. When he leaves for university, it will be just us again.
And we'll enjoy that too. Lots of quiet. All kinds of quiet.
Smell the markets, the thyme, the bread, now the fish. And there, look, the sea.
Salty water. Waves. Listen to it.
I've forgotten the sea is so foreign and impressive to you, village girls. Oh, my little banana.
I'd forgotten how the sea looks. How it really looks.
It goes on and on. Keeps coming and going.
Yes, it is big. And this machine is called a car, Safiya, a car.
Yeah. A 1946 Ford with a 59 of the 8-block engine and chrome-plated wings.
Wow.
My peasant of an Uncle Esme worked on cars for big shot city folk like you. Said Boscha.
Look.
We're here.
We are here, Safiya.
I never imagined I'd see it again.
You're not seeing Haifa. They are showing it to you and there's a difference.
Enough! Stop with your jabbering about and your philosophies about treatises and about states and gates and fate and stakes.
Why do you think they have opened the borders up? Just for our sakes?
No, this is part of war.
Right.
I know that.
And now they control all of it. And they're saying to us, look and see how much better we are than you. Much more developed. You should accept being servants. We have defeated you, occupied you, peasants that you are. Admire us. But look for yourself. Nothing's really changed. We could have done better than they did.
Saeed, why did we come?
Are you crazy, Sai? Durham.
Then how about Ziad?
Salim and Samir and Mahmoud are out too, which leaves?
Who says it will be a boy anyway?
I told you. I knew it was a boy from the start. I can almost see him. His face.
How about Musin?
No. It's settled. We'll name our boy Khaldun. You like it?
I like the ring of that.
Saeed, why have we come?
My son, Khaldun.
Just
Sure. Just to have a look.
Wadi Nisnas, Allenby Street,
Allenby was a dog.
And Bedfur a boar.
King Faisal Street.
That's a good one. Hanatur Square.
Put both hands on the steering wheel.
And Halisa?
There's something in the names. Strange,
They've changed the name, Saeed.
No, I don't care. That is King Faisal Street and over there is Hadar.
Slow down, take it easy, please.
I know what I'm doing. I know the city from back of my hand.
Oh, you're sweating again. Look like you're coming from the rain.
How can I be so bloody hot? I really wish it would rain. I bought an extra shirt if I have to change.
There are soldiers everywhere, be careful.
There's a road from here to the port. Look at the sea from here.
This was always the perfect spot to see it.
So beautiful. Those colors. Are we asleep?
I'm awake.
Slow down!
I'm hardly touching the gas. I bet they tried to rename the Mediterranean too. But there are things in this world even they cannot change.
What did you hit?
It's all right.
Did you hit the sidewalk?
Just a tire, I think. Or maybe a gunshot. I'll go. For a few hours, it's so quiet that we can hear each other breathe on the street. The city, it's not expecting anything.
20 years ago.
April 21st.
Hot for April. So hot, even the early hours are smeared with heat.
Yes, the British still control the city. And in 3 weeks, on the appointed day,
They begin to withdraw. All anyone talks about is the withdrawal.
I'm in the center of the town when the explosions begin. And the gunshots, like thunder without warning, an all-out attack by Jewish forces. Thunder from the east, from Mount Carmel. Mortar shell flying across the city. And then the streets of Haifa erupt into chaos. I've got to get back home! That street's closed! Try another one! No! The armed men are racing from the main road to the side street! From the side street to the main road! Watch out! Sophia! Get back home now! And why the high section of the city near Herzl Street? The militias have been headquartered there from the start. Now go! Sophia! And don't get between Halisa and Allenby Street. That's their strongest army base. Now go! This way! No, that way! Why can't the soldiers will? The British soldiers won't protect you. They're the part of the plan. Go! Where am I? Where am I? More soldiers, watch out! I don't know where I am! The streets are tangled in your head, man.
Why do you wish me out than the birds, then why do you miss that?
The old city, Halisa, damn it! Watch it! Now you remember. He's 5 months old today. Khaldun. You taste that on your tongue? Something dark and cold. That taste won't ever leave you. You sense that calamity coming your way, you should have never left them behind. What errand was so important, huh? Now hurry up. Go that way. This way! No. You know the city from back of your hand. I know this city! That's what you said when you went to the town to get your paper, your bread, your shirt at the bank. I know the city. Like the back of my hand.
What's that feel? Where she always
Keep moving!
We're close! I couldn't!
No! Try again! Sophia! Get down, here come the bullets!
It's like they've got 1,000 machine guns!
They are pushing you to the coast.
All firing at once!
They want you out, all of you!
No, I've got to get back to Lisa, back to her home! Sophia!
The sky is on fire.
Sonic, where are you?
Bursting with the crack of rifles shelling, the whole city is shaking.
I'm waiting for you, please.
An ungodly orchestra of noise.
Please come, don't leave me alone.
A racket like you've never
The
heard.
British are blocking our way, why won't they help us?
They have left you for dead, all of you.
You wish you were back in the village where the noise is nothing but birdsong and voices calling names down the valley.
Hurry, I'm alongside!
You miss it, especially now it almost makes you cry.
People are tumbling into the streets leading to the ports.
Women, men, children.
The English should still be in control.
Outside, where are you?
They are hurrying us towards the coast.
A rushing wave, panic.
The blast will pour from the hills.
People tumbling one over the other.
Falling into the rowboats near the wharf. Don't get into the boats!
Help us! Side!
That's right. Don't get into the boat. Get back to Halisa, Safia, and the baby.
If I stay in the house, we'll be safe.
Yes, stay in the house. Don't move.
Outside, he could be hurt.
No. Stay where you are.
Safia!
That's his voice?
It's not his voice.
I hear his voice. He's calling.
You're just scared inside here. It's safe outside there. It's dangerous.
I think I see him.
No, it's a stampede. Get back from the door.
It's not him. No, where is he?
He'll find his way back to you. Just stay where you are.
Maybe I'll just take a quick look outside.
Sophia, no. Sophia,
Or
no.
maybe that's him. He must have lost his jacket. I need to see if it's him.
Sophia, no.
Just a couple quick steps.
Don't, Sophia, please don't. Don't leave the house. Don't leave the baby. I got swept away by the crowd, like a twig of straw.
Down to the sea with heaps of others.
Where they're floating bodies between the boats.
How much time passes?
Before you think of the boy, still asleep in his crib in Halissa.
Khaldun? Khaldun!
This is the road.
Yes. Slow down. Your heart's beating so hard I can hear it.
Like a blow from a rock, over and over.
There's the house that the priest family owned.
Halal Street.
And that's where the Arab fighters barricaded themselves in.
Fought to the last bullet, last man.
That's it.
I'll park it there. Just like I always did in my old spot.
Still with its coat of yellow paint.
And the green iron gate.
There's a new clothesline attached to the balcony with my pegs.
Those pencil marks on the walls.
Look, the fourth step is still broken in the center. Remember when I broke it?
I broke that stuff. I dropped the grill work of Masato.
Matt, you saw this place.
It's so quiet.
2, 3. My feet still remember these last steps of the second floor. 5, 6, 7, 8.
The door.
It's been repainted. What is that color?
And they have changed the bell. And the name, naturally. So this is she.
Hello? May we come in?
I've been expecting you for a long time.
Do you know who we are?
You are the owners of this home. I know that.
How do you know?
From everything. From the pictures that were left behind. From the way the two of you stood at the door. From the expression.
From the rug from Syria my great uncle he bought. You kept it.
Your picture of Jerusalem.
Of course you kept it.
And the pottery from the Armenian place in the old city.
Oh. They're beautiful, no?
Yes, the colors.
Oh. But not my books. All my books, who?
A man came, took them away.
Huh.
They said it was state business. It happened when we first moved in. There was a lot coming and going.
Coming and going, of course.
But she kept so much. Why not the books?
The officials came to get them. The books went to a library.
My Hugo and Balzac that went. The Naguib Mahfouz that I bought in Cairo a year before that went. My Tennessee Williams and my notes and margins.
We had no time to read.
Someone is reading my notes somewhere.
Arabic notes in a French novel?
French notes in the Arabic books, actually.
But certainly you've replaced them by now.
Those colossal Oxford dictionaries.
I could barely lift them.
And Sophia, remember? Melville. A whale, a good story for us all.
Every day for the past 3 weeks, many Arabs, people, have come around here.
Cherries.
Looking at the houses
Cherries.
and going into them.
Oh, flask, one red cherry, early died.
Every day I thought, surely they will come.
And now we have come.
Yes. What happened? Sorry. I never thought things would be the way they are. Now,
My name Haya.
My wife asks, where are you from?
Poland. I came from Poland,
When?
1948.
When exactly the date?
March, 1st of March.
We didn't come here to tell you to get out of here. I mean, that will take a war after all. What I mean to say is that your presence here in this house, our house, it's a different matter. We only came to look at other things. Maybe you can understand that.
I do. I understand.
Good. We won't need much time just to look around.
I understand. But I also.
This terrible, enduring but what? But this is our house now, but you've fled, but finders keepers, but tough luck, but know your place, and don't get any ideas, but you do not exist, you do not exist. Huh. Oh. The feathers.
What?
The peacock feathers, there were 7 of them in that vase.
My sister gave me that vase.
There are only 5 now. 2 feathers are missing.
Are they? I hadn't noticed.
What happened to them? Did the man in the uniform confiscate them also?
I don't know where the 2 feathers you speak of went. I can't remember. I'd like to tell you.
You don't need to, madam.
Thieves in the Night. Arthur Kessler, do you know it? My husband, Ifrit, read it to me when we were waiting in Milan.
La Sousa Filay La Costa.
I'm sorry, I don't understand Arabic.
Of course, of course. My wife understands some English, but I still must translate.
Well, what I mean is, for us, Israel, Palestine, was no more than a stage set adapted from an ancient legend.
A stage set Palestine.
Still decorated in the manner of Christian books for children in Europe.
Holy Land.
Angels and virgins.
And donkeys.
Well, of course we didn't fully believe the land was only a desert rediscovered by the Jewish agency after 2,000 years.
Shepherds guarding their flock on the hillside?
Shepherds that look like us.
That wasn't what mattered most to us then.
Like the Saul that prays to the foreigners in Jerusalem city.
We didn't choose Haifa. We had been placed in a residence choked with people where something called waiting made up our daily concerns. We reached Haifa via Milan from Warsaw in March of 48. Until then, we had no idea we would end up here. Nor had Ifrit or I ever met an Arab in our entire lives. In fact, it was only in Haifa, a year and a half after the war, that we came upon our first Arab.
A real Arab. And in the wild.
Well, maybe. Let me get you something to drink, something to eat. What can I offer you?
Tea?
I'm hungry. Ask her to make me some mahshi. Or maybe some baklava. How about we celebrate with Menzaf? Oh, does she do shish barak? Now that would be a treat. Have you not cooked us something for our return? Shh. The steps leading down the hall to the kitchen. On the right, the bedroom, our bedroom. On the wall, a drawing my mother made of my face. Perhaps she got rid of it. I'm sure she did. On the left, a mirror leading to a smaller room. As if this is how she acts, like this is her house. Do you remember the mint tea I made from the bush in the garden? So many leaves. And the sugar. I was never shy with the sugar. I bet her tea will taste nothing like it.
The water. It has to boil.
You were saying.
Yes. There was fighting during those months.
Yes, there was fighting.
But you remember,
Go on.
We kept in our mind that mythical picture in perfect harmony with what we'd imagined all our lives, what we'd been told.
Like you, the angels, and us, the shepherds.
that's how finish.
But the fighting we heard and the fighting that we read about every morning in the paper seemed to us to be taking place between men and ghosts. Nothing more. In 48, we were staying at the Emigres Lodge. At least that's what we called it. We were there several days after that decisive battle in April.
Battle.
We could tell it was over.
To call it a battle is...
That with the help of the British,
with the help
they'd
of
taken
the
the
British.
city so
They?
quickly.
They.
The Jewish soldiers.
Quickly, that's right. And then the British soldiers, them, delivered Haifa straight into your hands from hills to port, just like that, huh?
Yes. And when we finally went out, Efert and I were immediately struck by the fact that we didn't see any cars. It was a true Sabbath. It brought tears to our eyes. Efert's tears were tears of joy, but mine, I said, I am crying for another reason. Yes, it is a true Sabbath, but there's no longer a Sabbath on Friday, nor is there one on Sunday. Do you understand what I'm saying? That was just the beginning. For the first time since our arrival, I began to call Efert's attention to something troubling that we had neither counted on nor even thought about. The signs of destruction that took on another meaning. But Efert refused to let himself worry or even think about it.
To think about what?
Think about...
You see, I lost my father at Auschwitz 8 years before. The house where we were staying at the time was raided. I was the only one home, and I hid with the upstairs neighbors, but on the way down the stairs, the German soldiers came across my brother. He must have been on his way to tell me that our father had been sent to the camps. When my brother saw the soldiers, he turned and ran. My brother was a very fast runner, and I saw it all through a slit between the stairs. They shot him. For me, the situation here changed. The day we passed near Bethlehem Church in Hadar, I saw two men from the Haganah carrying something which they put into a small truck. In a flash, I saw what they were carrying. I grabbed Efert's arm and I said, "Look!" But he didn't see anything. The two men were wiping their palms on the side of their khaki uniforms. But I saw it.
So what?
What did you see?
It was covered in blood. Efert guided me across the street and he asked me, "How do you know it was an Arab child?"
A child?
I said, "Didn't you see the way they threw it in the truck? Like a piece of wood? If it was a Jewish child, do you think they would have done that?" By the time we got back to the Emigres Lodge, I decided to leave.
Let's go, Safia. There is no reason for us to stay any longer. Let's go.
No, please, I have...
Thank you, madam. We cannot stay. Let's go.
What did she...
Let's go.
I must finish! A week later, as I was making preparations to return to Italy, Efert came back from a trip to the Jewish agency with two bits of news, good news. We'd been given a house here in Haifa.
Our house?
To live in, we know.
Yes, but
What was the other bit of the good news?
The 2 feathers you say are missing?
Yes, there were 7 of them exactly.
I remember now. Dove played with them when he was little. He must have lost them.
Dove?
Dove. Yes.
Your son?
Yes.
I don't understand. Say,
He was the second piece.
what news?
And the reason I stayed. Why I am here in this house.
Dove?
I don't know what his name used to be, or if it matters.
His name?
Tora Zonstein, the divorced woman who had just moved in next door. She heard a baby crying and broke open the door. She couldn't care for the child, so she took it to the Jewish agency. It was Ephraim's luck to come into that office a few minutes later. When the officials saw from his paperwork that he didn't have any children, they offered him a house here in Haifa and Melissa as a special concession if he agreed to adopt the child. The whole situation seemed to my husband to be a gift from God.
A gift from God?
From God. Yes. And he was... Well, Ephraim thought a child would change me completely.
Change me.
Completely. Take away the strange ideas that had been filling my mind ever since I saw the dead Arab child.
He was right.
He was right. And on the 29th of April.
The 29th?
Yes, 1948. Accompanied by 2 men from the Jewish agency, a tall one and a short one, and carrying a baby boy, we entered your house. This house. It was the 29th. I'm sure of that.
That 29th. I tried to get back that day and other days, but that 29th, it was a Thursday.
The things that were here, your things that were here.
There was no way in.
Well, you had good taste.
Every road leading to a
And we
dead
had nothing.
end.
Not a chair to sit in, or a rug, or a lamp.
A fence, a checkpoint, a biomet, forcing me to turn back.
And after a while,
We couldn't speak to each other when you returned to the camp.
well, those things began to feel like our things. Like home.
Numb. An abyss. As if we moved inside it.
We didn't sleep for...
Will he? When?
Years, it seems.
When will he?
It's time for him to be back now. He's late. Dump's never home on time. He's like his father. He looks a lot like you, Dove. I'd like you to wait for him so you can talk to each other and the matter will end as it naturally should.
And naturally.
Please, don't you think this hasn't been as much of a problem for me as it's been for you?
Side, I don't understand what she's saying.
Yes, you do.
No, not a word of this is making sense.
For 20 years I've been confused. But now's the time for us to finish the matter. I know who his father is, and I know he's my son.
And I know who his mother is.
He's an adult now. Let's call on him to decide.
To decide.
He's old enough, and we must recognize he's the only one who has the right to do it, to choose.
Yes.
He'll be here.
And he will choose.
Choose. Side, we are his real
Yes,
parents.
of course they stole him.
All those times that we tried to find him, how we searched for him.
But they have taught him how to be day by day with his food, with his drink, with his sleep, and with his...
Side, he's our Khaldun. He will choose to be with us. I can't believe it. Yes, I believe it. I've always believed it.
But Sophia, Khaldun, Dove, he may not know us from Adam. Maybe we should get the hell out of here, Sophia.
What? No!
But what if he never knew? Or he found out like days ago, a week or a year?
What does it matter, Side? We'll take him home with us. He'll understand everything.
But what if he was deceived? And he became even more enthusiastic in this deception. This crime happened 20 years ago, Sophia, when we had to leave him behind.
We didn't leave him, and you know that.
Yes, we shouldn't have left anything. Not Elisa, not Hausen, not Khaldun.
It wasn't our fault. The soldiers were blocking all the roads.
All those meetings with Red Cross.
I was sure. I heard your voice calling me outside. Just a few steps.
All those years standing in line with other people, waiting for hours, for days, just trying to get back.
We hadn't. There was nothing we could.
Sophia, didn't the same feeling come over you as it came over me when we drove through Haifa? It felt like that we knew the city, but it refused to acknowledge us back. Haifa ignored me, Sophia, it ignored us.
It's the same feeling in this house.
Yes. And what if the same thing happens with Khaldun?
No, it won't, Side. Don't you remember you have always said that we carry our children inside of us, that our children are our...
Our breath, yes, our breath. But Sophia, I can hardly breathe.
It was a lie. It was a lie that we told ourselves that we'd given up hope of ever finding Khaldun, and that lie is what made life endurable.
And it has left a hole inside me. A hole that I tried to make smaller day by day for 20 years.
And that's where he's been waiting for us. You must trust it. You must have faith in him and in this.
How could the boy not feel us all those years?
Impossible. Impossible. Okay, let me fix your clothes. We want you to look.
What is it?
There's a button missing.
What did I tell you? There's always a button missing. Imagine if they went to the same place, thousands of them, and all of them are missing. All of them. Huh. Sophia, do you remember what happened to Faris Alubda?
Our neighbor from Ramallah?
Yes. The other day I heard that he hired a car to take him from Jerusalem to the coast to Jaffa, and he went straight to his house in Ajmi quarters behind that Greek Orthodox school. That's where Faris and his family lived for 20 years.
And he went in?
By the time he got there, he was so filled up with anguish that he bound up the steps two at a time, and then he banged on the door of his house. It felt like an eternity to him when he heard the footsteps approaching from the other side of the door. And then a hand came out to welcome him in. But Faris ignored it. And he spoke the words that he had held inside for 20 years. The very words that he had rehearsed again and again in his dreams, and he spoke. I have come to look at my house, it's mine. And your presence here is nothing but a solid comedy that will end someday with the power of sword. If you want to shoot me, go ahead. But remember, this is still my house.
And?
The man bursts out laughing, and he then embraces Faris. He tells him, "Settle down, my friend. Save it. I know who you are. You are Faris al-Lubta, the owner of this house. I am an Arab from the Jaffa, a Palestinian just like you. Welcome in. I'll make some coffee." So Faris al-Lubta enters, but he could hardly believe it.
It was as he left it.
Exactly as he had left, even the smell.
What did he do?
Faris was frozen, looking at the wall.
Why? What was it?
A picture. The picture that hung from the wall rooted Faris into the stone beneath his feet. Badar,
Who?
the portrait of his brother, Badar. You see, Faris hadn't seen his brother or this picture in 20 years. And you remember, Badar was the first one to take up the arms in 1947. The very first one to take up the arms to resist what was being done here in Jaffa.
But he was killed. He was killed, wasn't he?
Yes, his dead body was carried on the shoulders of his comrades, and his rifle, just like his body, was smashed into two by a grenade on the road to Tel Arish. All the Ajmi community escorted his dead body through the streets to his family's house. And his mother had taken down everything and every picture from the wall, but still left the only picture behind. And after 20 years, Faris could still look at the old nail heads protruding through the walls, just like the men standing at attention in front of Badr. You see, 20 years ago when Faris and his family fled to Gaza by boats, they left everything behind.
Even the picture.
Yes, and some other man who moved into his house. His own house was destroyed in Mansha district by a mortar shell. And when he came back to the abandoned city with some fighters, he was captured and put in the prison camps for God knows how long. But when he was released, he refused to leave Jaffa, and he sold the house and managed to rent it.
From whom?
From government.
Their government.
Yes, they are the landlords now.
And the picture, it was...
The very first thing the man had seen, and perhaps that's why he decided to rent the house. You know, Jaffa was a ghost town, a completely occupied city. Not a single Arab could be seen, and he was alone in the sea of hostility. And he tells Faris, "My friend, you did not experience the agonies that I did. And I found consolation in that picture. A friend, in all his silence, to remind us that we were here before and it is not like a dream like they want us to believe. You see, for 20 years your brother became part of our family. He taught us how we resist. We resist by staying. Your brother taught us how to carry arms and fight for his freedom, and yours is precious. Do you understand?" Faris al-Lubta sat and looked at the picture of his brother. And when he finally got up, he asks the man if he can take the picture back with him to Ramallah. The man replies, "My friend, he is your brother above and beyond everything." So Faris al-Lubta took the picture of his brother and left a void behind. A meaningless rectangle on the wall. He then sets off back to Ramallah. But all the way Faris al-Lubda kept looking at the picture of his brother by his seat. And then a strange feeling came over him.
What feeling?
Well, he couldn't describe it at the time, but he tells the driver to turn back again to the coast, to Jaffa. And when they arrived at the house after the dawn, you see, the man was still waiting. He hasn't slept. And he tells Faris, my friend, after you left, I realized that if you really want to take the picture back, you must also reclaim Jaffa, the house, and us. That picture alone does not solve your problem, my friend, but remember, it is a bridge. Our bridge to you and yours to us. Do you understand? So Faris al-Lubda left his brother's picture behind, left it here in Jaffa, and went back to Ramallah. He understood. Safiya, Faris al-Lubda carries arms now. He is with Fidai. You see? He chose. Or maybe it chose him. But
He's here.
He'll be taller than his father.
a handshake or a hug? No, not a hug.
He was a long baby.
I bet his feet will be as big as mine.
His 7 toes were crooked like sides.
But hopefully not the ears of Safiya's father.
A birthmark on his collarbone.
I bet he's good at math.
I hope he doesn't laugh like Said's mother. Oh God.
I hope he isn't moody. Safiya says I'm moody.
What if he has too much to pack? The Fiat's much smaller than the Ford.
I bet his hands will be as big as plates, just like his brother Khalid.
We'll just ask her to mail him his things, whatever he leaves behind.
Oh, Safiya will cry when she sees him.
I better don't either when I see him.
There's no air in this room.
Just like I used to when my father scolded us.
If 3 of us get straight back into the car and drive, Khalid will still be awake when we arrive.
He's here.
Here he is.
It's him.
Mama?
He's wondering what I'm doing in the living room at this hour. Come here, Dove. There's some guests who wish to meet you.
Is this your surprise? Is that what you wanted us to wait for?
Dove, I'd like to present your parents, your original parents.
I don't know any mother but you. As for my father, he was killed in the Sinai 11 years ago.
Oh my God, after all these years. It's like a cheap melodrama.
What do they come for?
Ask them.
What do you want, sir?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
It's impossible.
Yes, it's impossible.
Really, it's incredible.
You're in the army?
No, I'm a street cleaner.
Who are you fighting for? Who are you fighting?
No right to ask me these questions.
How come?
Because you're on the other side.
I'm on the other side.
I see no reason to laugh.
And I thought it might help.
Help how?
What?
How might it help?
What are you talking about?
You see? It's impossible.
You said that before. You're repeating yourself.
think we need to talk like civilized people.
Okay. A negotiation?
What does he mean by civilized?
Nothing. Nothing. I thought that we were on the other side. What happened? Now we are negotiating?
Listen, I had no idea. No idea, Miriam and Ifrit weren't my real parents till 3 or 4 years ago. I am, from the time I was small, I am a Jew.
What?
A Jew.
Really?
Yes, an Israeli. I speak Hebrew, not Arabic.
And you wear the uniform and you go to the temple?
And I eat kosher too, yeah, like everyone. Look, when she told me that I wasn't their child, it didn't change a thing. And even when she told me later on that my original parents were Arabs, didn't change a thing.
Palestinians.
Nothing changed. After all, in the end, man is a cause, right? And
What did you say?
what?
Man is a cause. Who said that?
I don't know. I don't remember. Why?
Curiosity.
Curiosity.
Yes, because that's what's exactly going through my mind at this very moment.
Man is a cause.
Yes, exactly.
What did you expect?
We expected nothing.
And why did you come looking for me?
Tell him we came to
We just came to look at the house.
And not at me?
We didn't even know if you were, but hey, you are, and so are we.
After I learned that you were,
Arabs,
Arabs,
Palestinians,
whatever you like.
shepherds.
Please, you see, once I learned the truth.
The truth.
Yes. Once I learned the truth, I kept asking myself, how could a father and mother leave their 5-month-old son behind and run off? And how could a mother and father, not his own, raise him, love him, and educate him? It's been 20 years.
20 years, is that how long?
Let him finish.
I haven't been in direct combat yet. So perhaps in the future, I'll be able to confirm to you what I'm about to say now. I belong here. And this woman is my mother. I don't know the two of you. I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything special towards you.
You don't need to explain your feelings to me. Perhaps your first battle will be with a Fidai, a fight. Perhaps his name will be Khalid. Khalid is my son. You notice I didn't say he's your brother. As you said, man is a cause last week. Khalid joined the Fidai.
What are you saying, Sai?
Wait.
I didn't.
You know, why we named him Khalid and not Khaldun? Because we always believed that one day we will find you.
And now you found me.
No, we didn't. Not yet. And we don't think we ever will.
What are you saying, Sai?
He asks how a father and a mother could leave their infant child behind and run off. Madam, you didn't tell him the truth. And when you did, it was too late. Are we the ones responsible for him being left alone? Or are we the ones responsible for the death of that child in Bethlehem Church near Hadar? The dead child whose dead body was the first thing that shocked you here, madam. Things done in your name, madam. Perhaps that child was our Khaldun. Perhaps that small thing that died that wretched day was actually our Khaldun.
Tell him how we went to the Red Cross, how we went to the UN, how we begged our foreign friends for help, how we petitioned.
And perhaps this young man is just another orphan that you found in Italy, Poland, or England.
How the boats took us away. First to Lebanon, then to Syria, then through Jordan and across the river up to Ramallah, but we couldn't get back. Tell him how we searched.
Man, in the final analysis, is a cause.
For years and years.
That's That's what you said.
What is she saying?
And it's true. But what caused that is the question.
That is the question?
Yes, exactly. So think carefully. Khalid is also a cause, not because he's my son, no. But when we take a stand as human beings, it has nothing to do with blood and flesh and identity cards and passports. Maybe you can understand that.
I'm listening.
Oh. A little tobacco there on your lip.
Oh. Go on.
So let's imagine that you received us the way we always dreamed, with tears, kisses, and embraces. Would that have changed anything? Even you had accepted us. Would we accept you? Let your name be Khalid, Ismail, or anything.
My name is Dove.
Dove? Dove! Dove! Dove!
Stop!
All right! But in spite of it all, I too don't feel any scorn towards you. The guilt isn't yours alone.
I don't feel any guilt.
No. Then perhaps from now on, guilt will be your only fate. And besides, what else is there? You know, we always dreamed and
You dreamed? So now you're going to get sentimental.
So we agree that a human being is nothing but what's injected into him day after day with a period of lifetime.
Sure.
If I regret anything, I believe.
What did you dream then? Of me?
No, not of you. But Khaldun, did you feel us?
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Did you feel us inside a place that may not even exist? But did you feel us longing for you, dreaming for you?
How could I? I'm Dove.
Of course! Of course you're a dog. Sophia, what is a homeland? Or a home?
Why are you asking me this, Saeed?
Is it those chairs that remain? Or that table? These feathers? Or the picture of Jerusalem on the wall, some old copper logs, that gnarled tree? Or is it our Khaldun or our illusions about him? Or is it that picture of dead brother on the wall?
Saeed, stop!
Or is it you? On the balcony, waiting for me to come home. Your long black braids swinging. You were radiant then.
What are you saying, Saeed? That I wasted my youth waiting for this moment, never knowing how terrible it would be?
What I'm saying is, Sophia, I cannot find any resemblance between him and our son Khalid.
If I had not loved you so much, and had I stayed in the house with our son, and not gone out into the streets like a stupid girl, then this would be. I lost both of you. I was so young.
Sophia, we both have lived without our son.
Perhaps none of this would have happened if you hadn't run. If you hadn't been such cowards who had stayed and fought.
Cowards.
None of you should have left Haifa. If that wasn't possible then, no matter what it took, you shouldn't have left an infant in its crib. And if that was also impossible, then you should never have stopped trying to return. You say that too was impossible. 20 years have passed, man.
No, please.
20 years! What did you do all that time, huh? What did you do to reclaim your son? All those years. If I were you, I would have taken up arms for that. Is there any stronger motive?
Are you done?
No. You're weak. All of you. Bound by chains of backwardness, of paralysis, and... Don't tell me you spent 20 years crying. To hell with that! Tears won't bring back the missing or the lost. You won't win a battle either. No. All the tears in the world won't carry even a small boat holding two parents searching for their lost child.
How dare you!
You spent 2 decades crying and whining! So that's what you're telling me now? Is this your pathetic, worn-out weapon?
I don't understand, Said. What is it?
Yes, you understand. He says we are cowards.
And because we're cowards, he can become like this?
My wife asks, if that's true that we are cowards, does that give you the right to be this way? As you can see, she is willing to recognize that we were weak and paralyzed. From that standpoint, perhaps you are correct. But that doesn't justify anything. 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Nobody is saying that.
Oh, but madam, your son, Dov, is! And what about what happened to Ifrit and Miriam and other people in Auschwitz and other concentration camps? Just because they died and lost everything, does that make them weak and coward? If so, does it make it right?
Of course not.
Ha! First you say that our weaknesses and our mistakes justify your mistakes and your crime. And then you say that one wrong does not resolve another. You use the first logic to justify your presence and our absence. And second, to avoid the punishments your crimes deserve.
No, that's not...
No? Ha! You cannot see, but these equations of yours are fully blown out and full of cheating.
No.
Yes, Dove. And it even seems to me that you will enjoy playing this little strange game, all of you. And once again, here you are, trying to fashion a horse race and mount its back out of our weakness. No, Dove, I'm not talking to you assuming you're an Arab. Palestinian. Arab. Because now I know more than anyone else that man is not blood and flesh passed down from generation to generation. Just like a merchant and his client exchanging a can of chopped meat. Because now I know that you're a human being. A Jewish or whatever the hell you want, but one day you will realize that the greatest mistake any human being can commit is to think, even for a moment, that weaknesses and mistakes of other people give them the chance to exist at their expense. And you, do you really think that we'll continue making those mistakes? What if we should stop making those mistakes one day? What would be left for you then? Sophia, do you know what a homeland is? It's where none of this can ever happen.
Are you okay?
Yes, I was. You know, Khalid, he doesn't know about that loss. Halisa or Khaldun. For Khalid, Palestine is something a man would die for. And for us, it's a search of something buried under the dust of memories. And look what we found.
Dust. More dust.
We were convinced that a homeland was to be found in the past. And for Khalid, it's the future, and that's how we differ.
Madame. I want to leave, Saeed. I want to hear the sea one more time before we go back.
Yes. Let's go listen to the sea. There are thousands more like Khalid who have no need for the tears of old men like me, searching in the depth of defeat. But perhaps one day they will make the right mistakes of this world. The mistakes of men like me. Yes, Sophia, we should leave.
No, please, you can't leave like this. We haven't talked enough. I want you to know.
There's nothing more to say.
Madam, perhaps this whole thing was just an unfortunate incident to you. But remember, history isn't like that. When we came here, we were resisting it, just as we left. And it even seems to me that every Palestinian will pay a price in the end. And I know many men who have already paid with their sons and daughters. And I too have paid with a son. In a strange way. But perhaps that was just my very first installment. And yes, the answer is yes, you have not asked, but you both may live in our house and use our things for the time being. It will take
A war?
to settle it all, I figure it will.
Hammer, hammer, inu fevati, Ramat sama, ata bitnati. Hammer, hammer,
What is she saying?
inu fevati, Ramat sama.
Tell me what she's saying.
Goodbye.
Yes, it is time.
Who says it will be a boy, huh? How can you know?
We village girls know more than you, always. Rain or shine, Ford or Fiat, boy or girl.
Kiss me.
It's settled then. We'll name our boy Khandun. You like it?
Yes, I do. I like the ring of it.
Khandun.
I hope Khalid will have gone to the mountains while we were away.
Yes.
What's that?
Let's go look.
see it. It's coming. Yes.
Yes,